Hello and welcome to 2K Sports. You're watching the NBA. Monday Hoops coming up. It's going to be LaMarcus Aldridge and the Portland Trail Blazers up against the Orlando Magic. And that's all from the studio. I'll be back soon with the HP halftime report. But now, I'll toss it over to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
And we see the players making some conversation. No animosity as they get set to compete. Broadcasting live, 2K Sports presents the NBA. It's Monday night. This is Kevin Harlan here with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Doris Burke has our reports tonight from the sidelines. The starting five. This is our lineup brought to you by State Farm. First for the Trailblazers, Felton is out there with Matthews. And the man in the middle, Joel Prisbilla. He's a big part of that presence down low. Then there's Batum, and it's Aldridge in at the power forward. And looking at the Orlando Magic, Nelson and Richardson are manning the backcourt. And it's Dwight Howard locking down the middle. Always can be counted on, a looming presence and a force both offensively and defensively. Then it's Hedo Turkoglu, and it's Anderson in at the four shot. Aldridge on him. Anderson kicks to Richardson. Howard gets whistled for a loose ball foul. That's his first foul.
First personal foul, team's first.
Here's Felton. Guarded by Nelson. Felton with the ball. Outside, Batum. Shot clock at 6. Doubled by Nelson. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Here's Nelson. Pass to Anderson. Aldridge is there. Anderson kicks to Turkoglu. Kicks it to Nelson. 6 to shoot. Batum with the steal.
A lot of hands down there on the block. That's a tough position to be in offensively.
Felton working against Turkoglu. Outside, Felton. Outside, Matthews. The three is launched, and that one's good. Matthews has got the first points up on the board here for the Trailblazers.
Well, Wesley Matthews was signed to be a bit of a role player for the Trailblazers, but when Roy went down, he exploded and was really key in their run last season.
Lays out. He goes up, and Batum with the basket on the assist by Felton. Well, back to Wesley Matthews. Yeah, Clark, he was brought in for defense and threes. But, Steve, I thought he showed so much more. Great depth to his game.
Averaged close to 18 points per game in the middle part of the season, Kevin, when Brandon Roy went down. Really was a huge addition to that Blazer offense and saved them with all the injuries they had on the wing.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
I caught up with Coach Nate McMillan. Making the most of their possessions on the offensive end is what Coach considers to be the biggest factor in the outcome of this game. He said if we start getting sloppy with the ball, we'll play our way out of it. This defense we're facing is too smart and too talented to be giving away scoring chances against. We'll see, guys.
All right, Doris, thanks. So, Clark, they're thinking mainly about how to tackle the defense they're facing.
It won't be easy, Kevin. I mean, they're going to have to take a few body shots before it's all said and done. It's going to be a battle.
Steve?
Yeah, I like that, Clark. Body shots. I mean, go inside early. Try to pound them inside, and then you can play inside out at that point, but try to soften up that defense and make them move around a little bit.
Here's Felton.
As we look at the Blazers, check them out. I mean, a small market team, tremendous fan support. They're the only game in town as far as a major sports team is concerned, and their ownership has not been shy or bashful about trying to spend and being willing to spend to make them a contender.
That's an over-the-back foul, but it's one that you can live with. He's trying to be aggressive, and I like that.
Yeah, you know, I used to do that as a player myself, Steve, but you've got to be smart about going over the top. I don't think he had a chance to get that rebound anyway.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Reddick comes in for Jason Richardson, and it's Duhan in for Jameer Nelson. Clark, as you said, going back to the Blazers, small market team, big city pocketbooks. And Steve, now also a pretty new front office. They're going to another general manager this year.
Yeah, and despite the change, Portland's front office continues to be innovative and aggressive and making moves to try to improve this team. We know they've got plenty of money with Paul Allen at the helm, but can they put forth a consistent plan, and can they stay healthy with the players on their roster? Those are the questions I have.
I tell you what, he'll be quite contented to sit out there beyond the arc and knock down shot after shot if they're going to play defense like that. Tighten it up out there.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
Well, when the Magic first came into the NBA in 1989, they had some difficult years, as you would expect from an expansion team. But they've had a lot of success over the years with guys like Shaquille O'Neal and Dwight Howard, and they've built a really good, strong culture over the past decade.
Felton kicks to Aldridge. Here's Crawford. Again, the Trailblazers good for two. You're right, Steve. Orlando has built an identity with that, and Clark, I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, they've had a pair of extremely talented centers in their short tenure as a franchise, and they've done a good job building around those centers. We're thinking of, obviously, Shaquille O'Neal and Dwight Howard currently, though they've yet to be able to get a title out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Glenn Davis is checked in for Dwight Howard. Outside, Felton. Crawford. Back to Felton. The dish now to Crawford. 6 on the shot clock, and that one's good. Crawford's got his second basket of the night.
What a marvelous job they've done of sharing the basketball. A ton of assists.
Well, they know where each other is all the time. They're moving the ball, just finding the open guy. Nobody seems to care who scores.
My goodness, look how far above the rim he was when he grabbed that rebound, guys.
Now, here's Batum. T right on him. Felton the pass to Crawford. Off his foot, and it's whistled a kick.
Into the Trailblazers. J.J. Hickson. Johnny Flynn.
Six seconds left to play in the first quarter. With 1 on the clock. No good trying to beat the buzzer. The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. Here's Crawford. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Hi, guys. Prior to last season, Dwight Howard trained with the great Hakeem Olajuwon to develop his post moves. Howard said, "My whole thing is trying to establish a post game, just focusing on the little things, the technical stuff, the footwork, spin moves, being able to feel the defense, read the defense, and use that to my advantage." Basically, Hakeem was saying, "I have to become a person that is not afraid to do anything on the floor." He added, "I work on the stuff he taught me every day and use it each night." And guys, we saw the growth in Howard's game offensively, upping his scoring over 4 points a game.
He keeps adding layers to his game. Thank you, Doris. Flynn misses.
I love the energy and enthusiasm that Johnny Flynn, the 6th overall pick in 2009 out of Syracuse.
And it's Dwight Howard with the finish. Let's see that again on the Sprite Slam Cam.
There isn't anybody in the building that didn't appreciate that throwdown.
Well, Steve, that's as fancy a finish as you could possibly get.
Serious degree of difficulty on that one.
It was a first-round exit for Dwight Howard and the Magic last year from the playoffs, and wasn't really what they expected. A major step back for a team that was in the finals 2 years ago.
And he sinks the layup. Howard's got 7 points in the game.
Boy, this is scary. You get a score rolling like this, you're in some trouble.
Yeah, you can't leave a guy like that on an island. I mean, you got to bring some help.
Outside Flynn. Five on the clock for Davis. Rebound by the Magic. Clark, yeah, disappointed Dwight Howard. His numbers in that series, though, against the Hawks still very good. 23 points, 15 rebounds per game. Steve, over 60% from the floor.
Well, the Hawks made a decision that they were going to single cover him down the block in order to avoid the three-point shots that often come out of the double teams. So it was a great strategy by Atlanta. Dwight Howard brought it. He played well, but it wasn't enough for the Magic.
Crawford outside, and Chris Duhon pulls it down. The Magic trail by 4. Richardson, good.
Well, using his height advantage against the much smaller man, that was the right play to make there.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
Yeah, he doesn't really like what he's seen, and they're going to try to hash it out here.
Orlando making some changes. Ryan Anderson, who's checked in for Howard. Turkoglu comes in for Quentin Richardson. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Chris Duhon. Portland also making some changes. Kurt Thomas, he's checked in for Prisbilla. Batum comes in for Jamal Crawford. That's Felton in for Johnny Flynn. Outside Batum. Here's Thomas. That's good. Thomas got his first points in this one.
You know, you look at the numbers, guys, and the Blazers were a good offensive team last season. I mean, they ranked 11th in the league in offensive efficiency. I think the key for them is getting their front court healthy so they can be better at the defensive end of the floor. They're doing enough, I think, on offense.
Outside, Felton. Outside, Felton. For the three. Can't get it to go. The Magic trail by 4. Nelson dishes to Davis. And Redick kicks to Davis. Nelson, the pass to Redick. Three-pointer. Good. And a nice assist from Nelson. He has 5. Guys, interesting when you talk about the Blazers as one of the better offenses in the NBA because on average they shot almost 2% worse from the field than their opponents.
Well, sometimes Portland's best offense was just offensive rebounds. I mean, they were so strong inside that when they would miss shots, they would pound the glass and get second chance opportunities. And that really helped that offensive efficiency that we talked about.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Davis. Richardson comes in for Ryan Anderson. And it's Richardson in for J.J. Redick. Now here's Crawford. He's got 8. Batum for 3. It's hauled in by the Magic.
Well, I tell you, Jason Richardson was having what I thought was a strong season for the Suns last year, but things went a bit south when he was traded over to the Orlando Magic.
And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kevin, thank you. The Magic players have talked to Coach Stan Van Gundy about trying to curtail how often he criticizes his players. He says he's especially conscious of it after back-to-back games. As point guard Jameer Nelson put it, he picks his moments now. Guys?
Thank you, Doris. And as a coach, you always have to pick your moments.
You know, a lot of coaching is not what you say, but when you say it. And that seems to be what Coach Van Gundy is striving for.
And that one's good. Clark, going back to Richardson, he went from 19 points a game to around 14 points after the trade, so you're right on that one. Steve, did the change in his production surprise you at all?
Not really, Kevin, because he went from playing with Steve Nash to Dwight Howard, and it's a different style. And you're going to get some open looks off of the double team of Dwight Howard, but there's nothing like playing with Steve Nash. You're playing a high pace. You're getting open look after open look in transition and in the half court. There's no better player to feed off of in the NBA than Steve Nash.
Here's Orlando now. They're on a 13-4 run. And here's Nelson. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Turkoglu outside. Backs him down. There's the block. Out to Nelson. For three, it's hauled in by Jamal Crawford. Crawford's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
A tight game here, and neither team has been able to gain an upper hand on the backboard.
Well, both teams really getting after it inside. It's been an interesting battle. Winding down, they're going to go for the last shot here of the quarter.
Yeah, I like the recognition there. They're going to play for the last shot, just as you said.
That's his first personal.
And he knocks down the first one. So it's both teams making substitutions here.
Nicholas Batum taking 2 shots.
Both shots good from the stripe. And here is Davis. Nelson outside. He got it up. And he beat the buzzer. But it's no good.
Good game for Jamal Crawford. He's got 8 points, and he's hit 2 shots from beyond the arc.
Now, Clark, that productivity from long range gives them a nice balance offensively.
And a fun game going on out in Orlando.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far.
I'd have made every shot. You'd think I got the cheat code.
Here's Felton.
Well, you know, as much as the Magic were able to romp through the East, they had their troubles with Western Conference opponents last season.
The three. Dwight Howard pulls it in. Mark, you talked about the Magic in the West, over 500, but Steve, not by a whole lot.
Yeah, 16 and 14 in their 30 games against the West, and that hindered them a little bit in terms of trying to chase down Miami for that division crown.
Here is Felton. Guarded by Nelson. Felton dishes to Aldridge. Over Anderson. Orlando grabs the miss. Howard's got 4 rebounds in this game.
You know, in Hito's first stint with the Magic, Kevin, he was pretty good. Provided a spark. He's not the same player he was then, but still is a guy who can give you a lift.
Now Felton. Here's Matthews. Outside for Batum. Lets it go from deep. Portland again missing. And Clark, back to Hito for just a second. He can still initiate the offense for him, as you mentioned, and is in good enough shape, Steve, I think, to run the show for him as well.
Well, the question is, Kevin, is he too old at this point? He's been in the league for a long time, and the athleticism isn't quite there. I mean, he can still initiate the offense, as you said, but more in a facilitator role. I don't see him scoring like he did earlier in his career. Well, the Magic had multiple roster changes a season ago, and yet with Dwight Howard manning the middle, they managed to put together another terrific season.
Here's Aldridge, and that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Felton's got his 4th assist in this one. The 3 from Anderson. No good. And the Trailblazers going now the other way. And the Magic ending, as you said, Steve, with a good home record. 29 wins at home last year. Clark, that follows up that point very nicely.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, that total was the best for any non-division winner in the Eastern Conference. They'd like to have had that number above 30 this year, but 29 is still impressive.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Here's Matthews. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. That one on Nelson.
Nice time to use that foul to stop the layup.
You know, if you can save just 1 point, that foul was the right move.
Quentin Richardson's checked in for the Magic. Then for the Trailblazers, Thomas comes in for Joel Prisbilla. And Johnny Flynn is subbed in for Raymond Felton.
Well, for the Blazers last season, guys, I mean, they went 48 and 34 overall. I mean, 2 fewer wins from the season prior, but this team has managed to remain competitive despite just a huge number of major injuries to key players. I mean, that's a credit to those players, but also to that coaching staff. Nate McMillan and his staff have done a fantastic job keeping that team really competitive.
He lost his focus there, guys. That's a shot he should make.
Richardson gets called for the reach. That is his first foul of the game.
Jason Richardson. First personal foul, team second.
Here's Batum. 10 points for him. Flynn kicks to Aldridge. Clock at 6. The kick out to Matthews. Batum from outside the arc.
Here with the lead, they'd really like to finish this team off. But they just haven't knocked down the three-pointers at the same percentage that they did in the first half here in the second. So we'll see what happens going forward.
Good thought there, Clark. When you take a look at the Blazers last year, the year before, really, with all those injuries, it's interesting. Pretty comparable overall. But their home versus road split deepened, Steve, quite a bit.
Yeah, Kevin, just 18 and 23 on the road, a 6-game decrease from the season prior. So they have to figure out a way to get back to their winning ways away from home. We know they have one of the best home court advantages in the NBA, but you've got to win road games if you're going to be elite in this league.
That's now 6 straight points off open threes. Get a hand up, fellas. Pay attention to the scouting report.
Well, you know how quickly things can go south when you start giving up wide open looks to this team.
Richardson, no luck. Stolen by Anderson.
Blazers ball.
Orlando making some changes. Glenn Davis is checked in for Howard. Turkoglu comes in for Quentin Richardson. And it's Duhan in for Jameer Nelson. Portland also making some changes. Joel Prisbilla checked in for Thomas. And it's Crawford in for Nicholas Batum. Aldridge inside, defended by Anderson, but they recover it. The Magic trail by 7. Here's Richardson. Can't get it to go. Nice D from Crawford. The Blazers on offense. They're on a 10-1 run right now. Outside Matthews. Fires from deep. Portland, no good that time either. They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
Let's see how they play the clock.
He dishes it to Anderson. Latrey. Nice D from Crawford. Trailblazers leading by 7. Matthews passes to Flynn. Right side Flynn. Over Davis. Connects from 13 feet out. And it's the Magic with the ball. 9-point game. Richardson working against Crawford. Davis dishes to Anderson. The Magic again can't hit. And here we go with Johnny Flynn. 9-point game. And here's Matthews for the 3. That one goes. Count it. And it's a 12-point Trailblazer lead. From deep, Turkoglu. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. One of the
39.
Now let's check in with Doris Burke for our Sprite Spark of the Game. Doris?
Hey, Kev, today's spark of the game, Jamal Crawford. He's been his team's secret weapon off the bench in this one as he's given his team valuable minutes. We'll see how it ends, guys.
Thank you, Doris. He sure did stir things up for him.
Well, he was an injection of a different kind of energy out there. Got him going in the right direction and really gave him something the starters weren't able to give him.
Well, give him credit. I mean, he was just waiting for his chance, and he took full advantage.
The Magic trail by 12.
Turnover. Portland ball.
Here's Felton. Defended by Duhan. Outside Felton. Fires for 3. Here's Aldridge. He shoots again, and he zips to the basket and lays it in. Aldridge has got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Trailblazers. Here is Duhan. He's covered by Felton. Duhan kicks to Reddick. Misses the three. Trailblazers leading by 14. Batum passes to Crawford. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
Man, he continues to rack up the numbers.
Guys, I tell you what, this is as well-rounded a game as you'll see.
Another miss by Orlando. From about 19 feet, the offensive rebound, and that one's good by Aldridge.
Boy, I like the rugged work on the inside that led to that very easy putback. That's going after it there, guys.
And here's Turkoglu for three, and the shot is good.
They just lost him on the break that time defensively. I mean, he slid out to the three-point line and had plenty of room.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
Look, guys, I mean, the Blazers eliminated from the playoffs by the Dallas Mavericks in the first round last season. The Blazers had their moments in that series, though, most memorably a huge 23-point comeback in Game 4, led by the brilliance of Brandon Roy. But in the end, they just did not have enough to handle Dallas.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Gentlemen, I had a chance to find out what Nate McMillan was discussing with his players. He sounded incredibly confident given the situation they're in. He said, all right, I hope they're not counting us out yet because we are going to win this game. Guys, we'll see if his players believe him.
Just 5 on the clock. Here's Crawford. It's in. Crawford's got 4 points in the quarter. Stephen, that Portland-Dallas series, superior outside shooting the difference for the Mavs.
Yeah, I agree, Kevin. The Mavs shot 38% from the three-point line in that series. Portland just 30%. And because of the lack of shooting for the Blazers, it's much easier to defend them. You can really pack the lane and take away driving lanes.
The three, and there's Jameer Nelson on the assist by Richardson.
Coming back with a three of their own. I like that. Good response.
Yeah, I agree with you. See, this is a team that will not back down. I mean, I'm not surprised to see them answer that way.
Here's Felton on the money with the open jumper.
They're just getting better offensively as the game goes along, making good choices and getting high percentage shots.
And they're playing hard and playing smart too, Steve. They've just been very, very good.
Shoots.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in the
Flynn misses. The Magic trailed by 19. Puts up a three, and there's Richardson. That's good on the assist by Nelson. Here's Crawford. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. From 20 feet out, a nice shot by Flynn.
Looking to close this game out strong here.
Yeah, this one will be put away if they can get just a few more buckets and put it on ice.
Hedo Turkoglu's checked in for J.J. Redick. Then for the Trailblazers, Hashim Thabit, he's checked in for Matthews. Luke Babbitt comes in for Jamal Crawford. And Smith subbed in for Raymond Felton. From deep, Turkoglu. Second shot opportunity.
Obvious miscommunication between teammates that time.
.136 left in the fourth. Backing down is Hickson. His first shot coming late. And the Trailblazers getting another bucket right there.
And this one's pretty much wrapped up.
And they know it. I mean, took care of business. Chalk it up as a W, Steve.